am Rahul Chandegra from Degree Electrical Engineering Department, Dr. Subhas Technical Campus, Junagadh. This is video lecture of switchgear and protection, BE 7 SEM electrical subject. In previous lecture, we studied the protection relay. Now, in this video lecture, we will study the protective relays. In protective relays, the introduction of static relay. So, the relay which does not contain any moving parts is known as the static relay. In such a type of relay, the output is obtained by the static component like magnetic and electronic circuit. The relay which consists static and electromagnetic relay is also called static relay because the static unit obtain the response and the electromagnetic relay is only used for switching operation. Before static relay, in previous lecture we studied induction type non-directional overcurrent relay. So in this lecture we will see the static relay, how its work is principle, construction and operation. So static type overcurrent relay, the current derived from the main current transformer is fed to the input transformer which gives proportional to output voltage. So the static type overcurrent relay is shown in block diagram. The input current goes to input transformer, then it will rectifier and filter, then after given to level detector and then to amplifier and get to the output device and it will trip the signal. So the input transformer has an air gap in the iron core to give linearity in the current voltage relationship up to the highest value of current expected. It means whenever desired highest value of current is flow in the circuit, it will not trip. Whenever it exceed the limit, it will the trip. It will give the trip signal to the relay and is provided with tapping on its secondary to obtain different current setting. The output voltage is then rectified and the filter at a single stage to avoid undesirable time delay in filtering so as to excurse high speed of operation. A Zener diode is also incorporated in the circuit to limit the rectified voltage to safe value even when the input current is very high under fault condition. So we use Zener diode at the rectification time to avoid over voltage. So it will fix the voltage by using the Zener diode. So a fixed portion of the rectified filter voltage is compared against a present pickup value by a level detector. So the third component is level detector, and if exceed the pickup value, a signal through an amplifier is given to the output device which issue the trip signal. So all the parameter of static overcurrent relay have a different function. Likewise, the current transformer is fed to the input transformer which gives proportional output voltage. Now the advantage of this type of static type overcurrent relay is the first low power required, hence less burden. It's required minimum power to operate. No motional parts, hence bouncing, friction, erosion or arcing is eliminated. Due to moving part there is a friction, corrosion, erosion and arcing is produced due to moving parts. But here in this case there is a no motional or movement parts, so the bouncing, friction, erosion, arcing are eliminated. Not affected by gravity, may be used in any position. If there is a moving part, so gravity is affect to the moving part. If opposed to the gravity, then the force required is very high. But in this static overcurrent relay there is a no moving part, so it will not affect by gravity, so we can use in any position. Improve selectivity as resetting and overshoot times is reduced. Lower operating times, it is a faster and quick in operation. One static relay can be used for multi-purposes. So one static relay can be used for multi-purpose, for multi-circuit, multi-system. High torque to weight ratio, compact in size, good discriminating characteristic and reliability. This is the main advantage of static overcurrent relay. Suitable for reliable remote operation with programmable logic control, we call it PLC, can be programmed as per requirement. So we can change our setting as per the requirement, so we can operate in any mode. So this 11 advantages of static overcurrent relay. Now what is the limitation or disadvantages of static overcurrent relay? The main disadvantage of this static overcurrent relay is affected by voltage transients. So next slide we see the disadvantages or limitation of static overcurrent relay. So first, as per we know, the affected by voltage transients and also affected by electrostatic discharges. There is no moving part, but there is it will not affected by gravity, but it affected by electrostatic discharges. Sensitivity to temperature, so whenever temperature rise or fall, it will changes the limitation of relay. The auxiliary power supply is needed to operate amplifier, amplification, rectifier, filter, level detector. So it's required secondary or another power supply for operation. Higher skill manpower required to handle, to change the program as per requirement, to install. So the higher skill manpower required is the main drawback of static overcurrent relay. The operating characteristic may be affected by operation of output device. So these are advantage and disadvantage, or we call limitation of static overcurrent relay. Now the application of static relays. It used for ultra high speed protection, for overcurrent and earth fault protection. Let's see what is the application of static relay. So the first is ultra high speed protection of EHV AC transmission line utilizing distance protection, and second is in overcurrent and earth fault protection scheme as a main element in differential relay. This is the main application of static relay. The block diagram and working of microprocessor based overcurrent relay. So in this figure we can see that the microprocessor 8085 kit is used by giving the A to D converter from the port A by using 8255 and the channel selected as a port C. Trip signal is coming out from the port B. So the AC voltage proportional to the load current is converted into DC through a precision rectifier. The microprocessor accepts DC voltage proportional to the load current. The schematic diagram as shown in the figure, the output of rectifier is fed to the multiplexer. So the output of multiplexer is fed to the analog to digital converter to obtain the signal in digital form. So microprocessor can accept that signal. So we require a setup like CT to the I2 voltage converter is voltage given to the rectifier, then it given to multiplexer, and multiplexer output given to the ADC or analog to digital converter. It will convert as a 5 volt. So after the ADC converter, the output is given to the microprocessor. The analog to digital converter ADC 0800 has been used for this purpose. The microprocessor send signals to the ADC for starting conversion. And the microprocessor read the end of conversion signal to the examine whether the conversion is over or not. As soon as conversion is over, the microprocessor reads the current signal in digital form and then compare it with the pickup value. Pickup value, it means our desired value. The microprocessor first determine the magnitude of the fault current and then select the corresponding time of operation from the lookup table which we already programmed in microprocessor. So it will compare with that value. Then it goes in delay subroutine. So from the main program it will goes to the delay subroutine which we program in the microprocessor and send a trip signal to the circuit breaker after the predetermined time delay. So this is the function of the whole circuit. And the first AC voltage converted as per the load current, and then it given to the rectifier, and after that the rectifier it will be multiplexer to analog to digital converter, and that value which compare with the lookup table which already in the subroutine of relay. After that it will decide whether the value is as per the predefined or above that value. If above that value, then it will be give the trip signal from the microprocessor. Now what is the application of microprocessor based overcurrent relay? So application of microprocessor based relay, these relay are used for modified existing protection system. These relay are used for new substation or transmission line, and they are very cost effective. Microprocessor based relay used for include communication scheme logic. These relay are used for relay record the system condition and perform analysis. So in microprocessor there is a memory slot, so we can attach a memory and all the records of relay we can optimize, analyze, and we can take or modified our system as per the performance. So this relay are used for relay record the system condition and perform analysis. These relay are used where programmable logic allow the user to define the operation of the relay. So now we just compare of static relay with electromagnetic relay and microprocessor based relay. So the first column is electromagnetic relay, second is static relay, and the third is numerical relay or microprocessor based relay. So technology standard, the electromagnetic relay is first generation relay, static relay is second generation relay, and the numerical relay or microprocessor based relay is a present generation relay. So this is the first of using the electromagnetic relay, then after using static relay, and then after the microprocessor based or numerical relay based. The operating principle in electromagnetic relay, they use principle of electromagnetic principle. In static relay, in this relay transistor and IC is used. For the microprocessor, they use or numerical relay, they use microprocessor within inbuilt software with predefined value or lookup table in the subroutine. Measuring elements or hardware. In electromagnetic relay, induction disk, electromagnets, induction cup, balance beam, that are the hardware or element of measuring. In static relay, the measuring elements or component it is resistor, inductor, capacitor, transistor, analog ICs, comparator, like that. For the numerical relay, the measuring element is microprocessor, digital ICs, digital signal processor, like so. This is the main component, or we can say the measuring element of these three relays. The relay size. The relay size of electromagnetic relay is very bulky. The static relay is there is no moving part, so it is a very small. But the numerical relay is very compact because the microprocessor size is very small. The speed of response. Due to this point, the speed of response, nowadays we are using numerical relay widely. So for the speed of response, the electromagnetic relay is very slow. Static relay is fast, but the numerical relay or microprocessor based relay is very fast among the comparison between the other two relays. Now the timing function. In electromagnetic relay, the timing function based on mechanical clock work. For static relay, the timing function based on static timer. But in numerical relay, the timing function based on counter or timer. The time of accuracy. So in electromagnetic relay, the time of accuracy depends on temporary or temperature dependent. For the static, it is also temperature dependent, but numerical relay is stable. For the reliability of electromagnetic relay is very high. For static relay, it is very low as compared to other two relays. For numerical relay, the reliability is high. Vibration proof. In electromagnetic relay, there is no vibration proof, but in static, it is a vibration proof. It will not vibrate in whenever it operating. So same for the numerical relay, it is a vibration free. Or characteristic for the electromagnetic relay, it is a limited, static relay is wide, and same the numerical relay or microprocessor based relay is also wide. The requirement of drawout. So drawout is required in electromagnetic relay and static relay, but not required in numerical relay. The current transformer burden is very high in electromagnetic relay, low in the both case static relay and numerical relay. And the value of current transformer or CT burden is about to 8 to 10 VA voltage ampere, 1 VA in the case of static relay, and less than 0.5 VA in numerical relay. So these all are advantage of numerical relay, so that present generation are used as a microprocessor based relay. Reset time. For resetting the relay, it required very high time in the electromagnetic relay, less time in static relay, and very low or very less time required in microprocessor based or numerical relay. The auxiliary supply required in all the case for operating this type of relay. Now the next topic is differential relay. Before that, you have to keep in mind all the comparison of static relay with electromagnetic relay and microprocessor based relay. In most of exam, in previous exam, they ask difference between electromagnetic relay and static relay, or static relay versus numerical relay, or electromagnetic relay versus numerical relay. So these all the points, and the question is about 7 marks. Now the next topic is differential relay. A differential relay is one that operate when the phasor difference of two or more similar electrical quantity exceed a predetermined value. So there are two fundamental system of differential or balance protection. The first is current balance protection, and the second is voltage balance protection. So let's start the current balance or current differential relay. So this is the current differential relay. In that, this is the load line, alternating winding, and the operating coil of power current relay. Figure show an arrangement of an overcurrent relay connected to operate as a differential relay. A pair of identical current transformer are fitted on either end of the section to be protected as an alternator winding in this case. The secondary of CTs are connected in series in such a way that they carry the induced current in the same direction. The operating coil of the overcurrent relay is connected across the CT secondary circuit. This differential relay compares the current at the two ends of the alternating winding. So under normal operating condition, suppose the alternator winding carries a normal current of 1000 ampere, then the current in the two secondary of CTs are equal. This current will circulate between the two CTs and no current will flow through the differential relay in this normal operating condition. Therefore, the relay remain inoperative. If let's check if ground fault occurs on the alternate winding as shown in the figure, the two secondary current will not be equal, and the current flow through the operating coil of the relay, causing the relay to operate. The amount of current flow through the relay will depend upon the way the fault is being fed. So the the fault current, that at that time it will operate this relay. This is the function of current differential relay based on the current and current, and it will be compare. Now the voltage balance differential relay. In figure, the arrangement of voltage balance protection. In this scheme of protection, two similar current transformer are connected at either end of the element to be protected. Example like an alternator winding. The secondaries of current transformer are connected in series with a relay in such a way that under normal condition their induced EMFs are in opposition. In under healthy condition, equal current I1 and I2 flow in both primary winding. Therefore, the secondary voltage of the transformer are balanced against each other, and no current will flow through the relay operating coil. So it is normal condition when the I1 and I2 flow in both primary winding. So no current will flow through the relay operating coil as in normal condition. But when a fault occurs in the protected zone, the current in the two primaries will differ from one another. So the value of I1 and I2 is not equal. It may be the different, depends on the situation, and so I1 not equal to I2, and the secondary voltage will no longer be in balance due to the current I1 and I2. The secondary voltage is not balanced. This voltage difference will cause a current to flow through the operating coil of the relay, which close the trip circuit. So in this case, whenever the I1 and I2 is not equal, it operate the relay operating coil and it will close the trip circuit. So in this lecture we studied static type overcurrent relay and its operation, advantage of static overcurrent relay and disadvantage of static current overcurrent relay. You have to write down in your note so you can get your class note. And the next point is application of static relay. We already discussed in this lecture, and the block diagram and working of microprocessor based overcurrent relay. And next topic is comparison between electromagnetic relay, static relay, and microprocessor based or numerical relay. By the point of technology standard, operating principle, measuring elements, relay size, speed of response, timing function, time of accuracy, reliability, vibration proof, requirement of drawout, current transformer burden, reset time, and auxiliary. We studied differential relay, current differential relay and voltage balance differential relay. Thank you.